Hey, what's up guys? Shandamon here, or Shandamon, and today I'm here with a progression guide for the Shadowhunter. So in my last video where I compare the two builds, Demonic Impulse and Perfect Suppression, I mentioned that in Tier 1 and Tier 2 content, Demonic Impulse is not that good. So then I got a bunch of people asking me, what do we do then and how can we optimally just swap into it when tier 3 hits? That's what I'm here to explain, so let's just get into it. To save costs, you don't need to use your class engraving books on Perfect Suppression. We'll fill those in with accessories. In tier 1 content, starting Perfect Suppression will be very cheap. Because you only need level 1 Perfect Suppression, you can do the first Void Dungeon at gear score 340. Void Dungeons are guaranteed to drop your class engraving on it, and since you only need level 1 Perfect Suppression, you only need 5 points. You should be able to achieve that with 2 or 3 accessories. You can then use your other accessory slots and engraving slots for common engravings like Grudge. Honestly, Grudge 3 and Perfect Suppression 1 is plenty enough to get you through tier 1. If you want to, you can maybe throw Spirit Absorption as a bonus. Focus on crit as your main stat with Swiftness as your secondary from the necklace. You should have around 800 crit and 250 Swiftness depending on the grade. Next will be tier 2. This is pretty much like last year. Once you reach gear score 840, which should be fairly easy, you should be able to do the Yorn Void Dungeon and do the same thing to collect some good accessories for Perfect Suppression, with the same focus on crit and swiftness. You'll also get introduced to gems in this tier. Try to get them to affect your heavy hitting skills like Cruel Cutter, Decimate, Thrust Impact, or whatever you plan on using. These can also be carried into tier 3, but are weaker as soon as we enter tier 3. And finally, when we enter tier 3, is where we can go to the Demonic Impulse build properly. If you have class engraving books, feel free to use them to unlock Demonic Impulse to slot in. The goal is to get level 3 Demonic Impulse as well as some new accessories with specialization on it, with crit as a secondary stat. I'm not positively sure if tier 3 Void Dungeon gives guaranteed class engravings, but either way you'll have to farm for accessories again, or buy them from the market. And also, tripod levels get introduced in this tier. You can start getting gear from Chaos Dungeons or the auction house and just try your luck at upgrading your tripod levels. If you're Demonic Impulse at this point, then try to get the ones that increase your gauge. Otherwise, if you're Perfect Suppression, then get the ones that increase damage. You can also stay with Perfect Suppression if you still need to get everything you need. Speaking of everything you need, if you're planning on going Demonic Impulse later, be sure to collect the wealth runes along the way. Check the in-game codex to see how you can get them. Although if you want a really easy one, Lagoon Island is an island that shows up on certain days. It's located just under Southburn, and it'll reward you with a purple wealth rune, so don't miss that. Anyways, I think I've said all that I wanted to. Hopefully this helped you out. If you enjoyed, then consider subscribing, and also check out my Twitch if you're interested. I'll be streaming this game a lot during launch, so yeah, check that out. Anyways, peace!